I'm the self-proclaimed poster child for the baby boomers, for this generation, for this stage of our lives. And one of the things I see that needs some help is our legislators are not getting the picture. Now, in Utah, everybody knows Utah has Sundance, which is a film festival. Famous. And some people know about Slam Dance, which is an alternative film festival that got started for people who didn't get into Sundance. But they're both growing and turning into bigger and better things, in part because if Sundance grows and has more admissions, there's better quality ends up over at Slam Dance. The Utah Legislature is also known in some quarters, certainly in Utah, as having a super majority Republican control of conservative Republicans. Not the kind of Republicans of 30 years ago. And they're starting to call conservative Republicans not conservative enough. Now with the House and Senate are both so controlled that things can get, your moderate Republicans, your Democrats, the few that there are, can't get anything done. Stuff can get bottled up in committee. It can never be debated on the floor, certainly not be voted on. One of the trends, as even in good times, this legislature was always trying to cut back on services for the poor, the sick, the disabled, the children's health care. They would cut benefits when they had a surplus and then do a tax rebate. And when that happened on dental care to people on Medicaid, which is, lots of people don't realize that within so many days of going into a hospital, or in the range of 20, or some like 40 in a nursing home, that's the end of your Medicare benefit. And a social worker trots in, and you get to sign all your assets away and be on Medicaid. So there's a lot of the baby boomers who, like me, worked their whole lives, paid into Medicare, I had a company medical plan, I had a company, a home, my home should be paid for, but I'm back to own as much as I did on it in order to try to keep my handyman business going, and the values are going down. And I'm starting to be in trouble myself, even though, I was a lawyer, I owned businesses. You see your investments worth nothing overnight in the stock market, these kinds of things. So I think what we have to, and the reason you need so much money to retire is because healthcare costs so much. And if you don't want to be on Medicaid right away, you got to have an incredible amount of money. I think this is wrong. And I think that there is a solution, and that the insurance companies and the cowardice of the current democratic reform didn't get us anywhere near what we need. I was so hopeful for Obama, and now I think that the compromise is going to make everything worse. It's turning it into the bailout for the insurance companies. And if we let all this happen, we're going to become a poor country. Our assets are not going to get passed on to our kids and our grandkids. They're going to get wiped out, if not by the economy, by our healthcare needs. And I'm calling for start over. The polls all show that the majority of the people in the country would go for a well-planned universal health care plan where the government doesn't take over medical services. But it does expand a program. Now, Medicare is a successful government program, and so is Medicaid in its own way. So is a number of things, but nothing practical is going to be considered in the Utah legislature or anywhere else, and so what we need, like Sundance and Slamdance, we got the Utah legislature, and we need a dream legislature. We actually need to get organized and do an alternative legislature and propose some things, debate them, and pass them in our legislature to show what could be done. So anybody that wants to join me in a getting dramatic, doing the dream Utah legislature, I've got a blog, I've got a website. I'm proposing that we have a State of the Union party at my house, so that when we've heard President Obama's State of the Union, that we have our own State of the Union commentary, and set some times and places and events for the Utah Dream Legislature. And if anybody in any other state thinks this is a good idea, I didn't patent it, go for it. And I think that this is one where the baby boomers have moved along like the lump in the snake and have changed what needed to be changed, left the country better behind it. We're not going to fall on our faces because we hurt our foot and we're sitting in a wheelchair, are we? I mean, nobody. We're the ones who protested the Vietnam War, and it's time to review where we are right now and what needs to be done, and become the leaders again. In my opinion, we let a slacker that would have been fun to go to a barbecue hijack the prosperity of this country into big tax breaks for the rich, a couple of wars, and then the bailouts to the stock market and the bankers all got started at the end of his term, and Obama went for it. And we got to save Obama by the looks of it, but if not, we got to save ourselves. You have your assignments. You know what to do.